of the Rambam today, in say Kaddish Rabbanan and Ma'ariv. An interesting question. Are you allowed to do an action to avoid that you won't have to do a mitzvah? For example, one of the mitzvahs, when you make a dough, you have to take off challah, a little piece of dough. It's called challah. Who do you give it to? The Kohen. If you don't take off the dough, you cannot eat the challah, the bread. So you have a little trick you can do. What you can do, you make the dough less than 5 pounds at a time. According to Torah, the only time you have to take off challah from a dough if it's the size of an omer, which is 5 pounds. Less than 5 pounds, I don't have to take off challah. So am I allowed to make 4 pounds, then 4 pounds, and 4 pounds, so I'll avoid that I don't have to take off challah? You know what I'm doing? So I'm making the dough less than the required amount, so I never have to take challah off. So I won't have to give the Kohen the piece of dough. Same thing is an interesting thing when it comes to food. When you eat bread, you have to make hamotzi and bench. You have a trick you could do. You could make, and when you make the bread, instead of making it water and flour, you can mix it with like juice and flour, or eggs and flour, and so on. So then it becomes no more hamotzi, it becomes mizonot, and you don't have to bench the whole benching, and you avoid the headache of benching. So are you allowed to make challah and make it from juice? You know, the juice, the ingredient in the dough should make from juice. So I'll avoid having the bench. You know, could I do this to begin with? So the Rambam says in today's Rambam, you're not allowed to make your dough less than 5 pounds if you have 5 pounds, and you're just trying to avoid, you're not allowed to. Because you're trying to avoid doing the mitzvah. However, if you want to make bread from juice, you know, that's not a problem. Why? Because when you're making the dough, so it's a dough that you're making, you're planning to make, and you're just trying to avoid taking off to give to the Kohen. When it comes to food, who says you have to eat to begin with bread? No one is required to eat bread. Now you decided I want to make a bread that it shouldn't be hamotzi, it should be mizona's bread because I put juice. That's not a problem. We're making a dough smaller than the measured amount is forbidden except one time. And that's what we'll conclude is when you make matzahs for Pesach. When they make matzahs for Pesach, they want to make the dough small. So they a whole time kneading the dough so it doesn't have time to rise. So they make it like 3 pounds, you know, each dough. So what do? What they do is they make these small doughs so the guy is always working with the dough. There's no time for it to rise. And then after it's finished baking, and they put all the baked matzahs in this big container, they cover the baked matzah, they take off challah after it's baked. Because they're not trying to avoid taking off challah, they're just trying to avoid it to become chametz. So they make the dough small so you could penetrate the dough better. But a regular dough that you're making from regular challah, you shouldn't avoid making it smaller, make it the right amount. So like this, you could take the mitzvah of challah.
They take the challah off after they bake it?
Yeah.
You can do that?
You have to do it by matzahs. That's the only way they do it. Anytime they do matzahs, and even by you, if you buy bread from the store, and you know they didn't take off challah, you can take off a piece of bread and throw it away. In other words, you don't need, it's better to do when it's dough. But if it's already baked and they didn't do it, you take it.
5 pounds anymore.
So you take a few loaves of bread.
It's not one
burn
piece to
it
5 pounds.
if they burn it. Okay, if they burn it, as long as the Kohen shouldn't have it. No one should have it. Rabbi Chananya ben Akash